Good afternoon. I had some thoughts that I wanted to share, and most of you know I'm somebody who's pretty open about my past and sharing my testimony, sharing my story, as I fully believe that sharing my story helps, can help other people, as other people's stories have helped me. A single sentence may be all you hear. In 3 weeks from today, I'll celebrate 3 years of not smoking. In about a month, I'll celebrate 3.5 years of sobriety. I just celebrated 23 years of being drug-free. Each one of those individually is just a sentence to you. But what's a sentence to you is part of my story. You may not completely understand why each one of those sentences get me excited and make me happy and joyful. But each one of them are just a part of my story. My story, as does anybody's, has 4 parts: the beginning, the middle, the end, and the parts that I skip and leave out. And I may only tell you one sentence, but rest assured, there's a story there. The more I trust you, the more that story that you hear, and the less that I leave out. Or, in some cases, the more I think that story will help you, the less I leave out, and the more you hear. The one part that I always try to tell, though, that I always want to make sure I get through, is who the catalyst of that story is. And the catalyst of my stories is Jesus Christ. None of the good parts of my story is possible without him. None of the good parts of my story is true without Jesus Christ. Each of us have a story. You have a story. Do you own your story? Do you own it? Is it over yet? Is your story over? Mine's not. And at some point, I'll have more to add to my story. I'll have more miracles to talk about, if you will. And yes, miracles. I absolutely believe in miracles. And you would too if you knew my whole story. How God took a little snot-nosed, dorky kid from a single mother that was so far out of his element in high school, who, because he was so far out of his element in high school, that as a young adult, he tried to compensate and make up for it with women and drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. That shy, backwards kid decided he needed to become the life of the party so that he would never be ignored again. That God would take that kid through the story he's taken him through and brought him to where he is at today is a miracle. So you ask, and I've been asked, where does your story end? My story hasn't ended, and the miracles aren't over. There will be more to come. I dream that God allows me to help other people find their stories too. One person at a time, one story at a time. I don't ever want to feel like I've fulfilled God's purpose in my life and stop at that point, because, well, I'll miss the one person that God intends me to be there for. I want to keep telling my story, even if it's just one sentence at a time. Blessings, my friends. Tell your stories. See who else you can help. Love you, love all of you. Peace.